Hey, welcome to the Noon Whistle. I'm John Anzalone, and today we have Sheriff Dave Gerber with us and Undersheriff Tom Hausner. Thank you guys for joining.
Thanks for having us, John.
You're welcome. I'm without my partner today, Chris Trottier. He had somewhere else to be, so you're stuck with me.
Good person to be stuck with.
Yeah, the star, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules. Pleasure to have you. Fortunate to call you both friends. And let's just start out with maybe you guys telling us a little about your law enforcement journey over the years and how you ended up where you are today.
Why don't you start out, Tom?
Well, I started a long time ago. Actually, I started my law enforcement career part-time in 1979. Yes, 1979. When I was in the Marine Corps, part-time on Emerald Isle, became certified in North Carolina, realized that I could have a better career in Wisconsin. Came back to Wisconsin, started part-time in town of Delavan and Williams Bay, became full-time in Williams Bay, and then in 1984 came to the sheriff's office full-time. I stayed at the sheriff's office for 28 years. I was a sergeant and SWAT commander for 12 of those years. I retired from the sheriff's office, came back when Sheriff Gerber got elected a year and a half ago as sheriff, and I'm now the undersheriff for Walworth County.
We're glad you came back.
Thank you.
So this coming May, it marks my 29th anniversary in law enforcement. I started with another department back in the 90s, and I came to the sheriff's office in 97 as a deputy sheriff. Got promoted to detective, then to lieutenant, captain of two different divisions for a number of years, undersheriff, and then I was elected sheriff a little over a year and a few months ago.
Well, thank you guys for what you do, and thank you for your careers and all the people you've touched and places you've been. And sheriff and undersheriff. So congrats to you guys. And I want to talk a little bit about your slogan, your mission, your vision, those kind of things that you developed when you guys became the team to lead the sheriff's department.
Sure. Yeah. One of the first things Tom and I did when we started last January was we wanted to have a department-wide meeting to get all the staff on the same the same page, so to speak. And we have over 200 employees here at the sheriff's department. Fully staffed is 219. To get all those 200 people together at one place at one time is an impossible task. So we broke it up into groups of 25 to 30, and we got all the staff through in about a month and a half, 2 months. And the things that we went over in those meetings was going over our mission statement, why we exist today and where we're moving to in the future, vision, core values, our motto, as well as goals we have for the agency, expectations we have. And then the last part of the meeting, we wanted to get staff input on how we can do things better. So I found those meetings to be very productive. I think the staff did. We implemented a lot of suggestions that they had. But with the mission statement, we didn't just change the mission statement because we wanted to just change it. We wanted to really reflect where we are today and where we're going to go. And the mission statement that we had been in place for many, many years. So this was a conglomeration of command staff, line staff, gave us input, and we came up with our new mission statement for the sheriff's office, which is to serve and protect. It's really what we do. Citizens of Walworth County and visitors, because we are a tourist-rich county, with dedicated public safety services. And what that means is we're not just law enforcement. So we have a dispatch center, we've got corrections, we've got other things other than just strictly law enforcement. So it's dedicated public safety services. And then everything we do, we want to do in partnership with our community. I think we have to make sure we have strong relationships with those that we serve. And I encourage our staff, especially our deputies who are on the road, I encourage them to stop and interact with the community. If it's, taking 5 minutes out and maybe playing baseball with the kids or just meeting with people and talking to people, just building relationships up so the community knows who we are and they feel comfortable and they can trust us to work together with them. As far as our motto, I'm going to let Tom talk about where that came from and how that thing evolved. So why don't you go ahead, Tom?
Our motto, as you probably know, it's even on our squad cars now, is one team, one mission. And I'm going to admit we stole it. I stole it from Gilchrist County, Florida Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Bobby Schultz. On April 19th of 2016, they had 2 deputies tragically murdered. And Sheriff Schultz, the reason I'm familiar with them is my son, Ryan, oldest son lives down in Florida, Grand Front. I'd go down and I would teach and train them different things. They were a very small department, 13 officers was their entire deputy sheriff's strength. I would teach them traffic stops, high-risk warrants, room clearing, active murder training, active shooter training. And I was down there at the beginning of April of that year, and my son called me on April 19th and said, "Dad, 2 of the deputies got killed. Sergeant Noel Ramirez and excuse me, his deputy partner were killed, assassinated in a restaurant." Sheriff Schultz stood out across the street talking about the heroes who will live forever and what his motto meant of one team, one mission. It wasn't just police and sheriff's office of Gilchrist County. It was fire departments, rescue squads, agencies from across northern Florida came to assist them and help them. The citizens of the community were there. It was not just the one team of the Gilchrist stuff, but one team, one mission of the entire organization of fire, EMS. Lindsay Taylor was the other deputy who was murdered. But that motto stood and meant a lot to me. So when I came onto the sheriff with our election and then to the department, we brought it on, and we want people to understand that it's more than just 4 words, it's true meaning.
And here in the department, we've got different divisions. So with our dispatch center or our corrections officers or our administration staff or our deputy sheriffs, our detectives, our court security folks, it's all one team. We're all one team, and we're striving for one team to provide the best service we can. But beyond even the sheriff's office, all county employees, all county law enforcement, fire, EMS, there's that kind of rivalry between the fire and the police. But when we have a major incident, even a traffic crash, for example, we're all working together, and our mission is to provide the best service we can.
Yeah, and I don't know if everybody maybe quickly
even work with the schools.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think kind of quickly go through. I don't know if everybody understands the diversity that the sheriff's department has when you think of, just to name a few, is the dive team, the snowmobiles, things like that. That all the methods that you guys use to do your job effectively.
We have a wide range of peripheral assignments, from our crime prevention unit, which does National Night Out, the fair. We have SWAT, Special Weapons and Tactics. We have the dive rescue team, which comes out. We have snowmobile patrol. We have UTV, ATV patrol. We have a wide-reaching community efforts to bring that one team, one mission together. But we're a well-diversified group. We have an honor guard, which is composed of not only our sworn staff, but our corrections staff. We have negotiators on the SWAT team who are corrections officers as well as dispatchers and sworn personnel.
You also have, you listening to you talk about that make me think of when you say one team, one mission. You also have strong partnerships with other agencies in the surrounding area within Walworth County. Do you still have the multi-jurisdictional crowd control unit?
Yeah, so our SWAT team is multi-jurisdictional, our dive team is multi-jurisdictional, and so is it's called Mobile Field Force, or our crowd control team. As a matter of fact, this last weekend we were up in Whitewater for the annual Spring Splash event, and the team consists of almost all the departments in the county have representatives on that team. So, they're all up there and assisting the city of Whitewater with their event this last weekend. So yeah, all working together.
Yeah, which really expands that one team. It truly is a county team that you're promoting and putting together.
Yeah, and there are, obviously we've got a lot of really good staff here at the sheriff's department, but your law enforcement in this county really is top notch, and they really have a lot of talent, and the officers out there are really doing good work throughout the entire county. We've got a lot of departments in this county. There are 17 police agencies. We all have to work together to make this work.
Right. So looking at, as we approach summer, I think we're going to get to summer at some point and get some warm weather and I'll get to be outside. What are some of the things you guys are looking forward to, or the agencies looking forward to, or some of the maybe initiatives coming up, or maybe some prevention safety type things that you guys promote this time of year?
Yeah, so we got a busy summer coming up. Alpine Valley is full swing. It for a few years, it was kind of a few cons a year, and during the pandemic, they were shut down. But This year they're coming back strong, 13 concerts this year. So that's going to take up a lot of our resources this summer, and we're going to be asking for our partners for help to help us staff those shows. But they got a lot of different festivals and events going on throughout the county. Walworth County in and of itself has a lot of lake homes, so we're going to see an increase in population like we do every summer season. This year, the Republican National Convention is in Milwaukee. They're asking for a lot of resources from us, so we'll be giving as much resources as we can, but still making sure that we have enough staff here to protect and serve Walworth County. So yeah, a lot of things going on. I don't know if Tom has anything he wants to add to that.
Well, we have some traffic safety initiatives that are going on. The seatbelt enforcement one, OWI directed, which are called grant. We get federal grants to assist us with payment and staffing of those. And we put out special enforcements that, again, the one team, one mission carries to there, because we work in conjunction with the state patrol and every agency who's willing and able to provide officers for a specific time frame that we put out saturated patrols to hopefully increase the safety and awareness of traffic safety, especially as we come into summer where, our core population of the county is roughly 110,000, and we sort of 200,000 to 300,000 in the summertime, as everybody knows. And it's a much larger demand for traffic and traffic safety.
Yeah. As Tom was kind of talking about, the grants that we have, we're one of the only counties in the state, and we pride ourselves in this, and we're told this by the Department of Transportation folks, and they kind of use us as sort of a model. There are the counties that are doing it, but we're one of the ones that are able to work with all of our agencies together. So this grant task force that we have is not just the sheriff's office out doing seatbelt, OWI, and speed enforcement. It's every police agency in the county doing the same. We're under the same grant. We all work together as a team.
Yeah. So let's do a little speed dating game here. I'm gonna drop this on you. All right. Hey, we're all friends here. So I want each one of you to give me one traffic safety tip for me.
Always wear your seatbelt.
All right.
Be courteous of other drivers. I see so much. We get a lot of calls, 911 cell calls on the freeways for road rage, especially on the I-43 and Highway 12 corridor. It's just obey the law and be courteous of other drivers out there. Most crashes occur due to driver error. Just take the time to just focus on your driving. There's a lot of distracted driving these days. So many distractions in our cars, with our phones, to our radios, to computer systems in the cars. Just focus on driving, put the distractions down, and be courteous of others.
All right. Crime prevention tip for me.
Lock your doors.
Yeah.
Simple.
There you go.
All right.
In God we trust, everybody else we lock.
All right. I like it. I'm a motorcycle rider. What's a traffic safety tip for me on my motorcycle?
Wear a helmet.
Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings.
Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Thanks. I know I didn't prep you on that one, but I appreciate your quick answers and good answers. Anything else we're looking forward to or we want to share? Or I know one thing I wanted to touch on real quick was the social media part of law enforcement and how social media has evolved into like all aspects of our lives or businesses, and how that's injected itself into law enforcement and the importance of that.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing right now, right? I think social media helps us because it lets us get our message out. It lets us reach a lot of people that we can reach in a pretty efficient manner. So that's good. The other side of that thing is, though, there's just so much misinformation out there on social media, and when we have like incidents that occur, people want information like right now. And when we're in the heat of it and we're dealing with a situation like, I used the traffic crash before, we'll use a major traffic crash. We're trying to work that problem. We don't have the resources to put a message on social media right away, but we try to do it as quick as we can. But then in the interim, there tends to be a lot of misinformation that goes out there too. So that can be a negative of social media. But the positives, like I said, for us, it allows us to get our message out. But social media also allows us to gather information and conduct investigations. We track Facebook Live. We track criminal behavior on social media platforms, so it helps us to solve crimes too. And you see it out there on some of the department Facebook pages, as they'll put suspect pictures out there from surveillance cameras, asking the community, "Hey, you recognize this person?" And there's been a lot of positive results from that. So I want to thank the citizens for those tips and coming forward with that information, because again, one team, one mission. We need the community to help us do our jobs, and social media helps us to do that.
Yeah. Do you think, is it a correct statement if I had said people should just be patient on social media when incidents happen, that there's probably a reason that more information isn't being released? Like, we all want to know what's going on. Why aren't they telling us? What would you say to people that, we're all anxious, we all want to be in the know, as far as the reasons why information might not be released right away?
Well, first and foremost, we attended a public information officer course put on by the FBI. And within 2 minutes, information is being spread across social media. Within 2 minutes of a major incident, from law enforcement, fire, EMS, we're barely on scene figuring out what is taking place, much less having time to deal with social media. So the expediency in which, and I'll say maybe even a false narrative or half truths or information is put out to social media, puts us behind the 8 ball before we even have a chance to put out any information of what we may be able to do. If we have let's say an active shooter, God forbid, right? We're dealing with the threat, we're dealing with the information, but yet social media is putting all this information out there. So by the time we get to this information, and it may be in that situation an hour later, we're so far behind the 8 ball of what's been put out there with social media. So we ask for patience, we ask for understanding, we ask them to realize that we're not just sitting on our keyboards, we're dealing with the situation at hand, whether it's a vehicle crash, a burglary, an armed robbery, a major fire. We're trying to get the information out. We're not trying to withhold information. We want to be transparent, but because we're actually boots on the ground, it's different than sitting behind a keyboard or a screen.
Yeah, and we're putting together a social media team. I tasked one of our staff members with being our Facebook and our social media coordinator. So we're putting together a team so that while we're out in the field working on all this stuff, we need to have a PIO team here at the office monitoring social media and trying to update the community. But understand there are times we just can't put things out as well. I mean, the unfortunate, very sad circumstances that happened in Elkhorn at the sports page bar, we can't put out a lot of details on what happened as part of that investigation initially, because we want to maintain the integrity of that investigation as well. So
Right.
hope the committee understands that as well. We want to put out as much as we can, but sometimes we just can't put as much as they want to know, because it can impugn the integrity of the investigation.
Yeah. No, I think so too. And I think it's important for people to understand that things may be left out so that they don't compromise the investigation, right? Certainly we don't want to compromise an investigation just to put stuff out so that someone at that point in time knows, like, that time will come.
Correct.
Well, hey, we are nearing the end. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for about 18, 19 minutes already. And I appreciate you guys taking time again, and all the information and your experience and all your commitment to community in Walworth County, and beyond that. So thank you guys for what you do. Thanks for your time today. Anything you want to leave us with?
Thanks for the invite, John. And again, we've known each other a long time, and thank you for what you do, and thank you for giving us an opportunity.
Absolutely. It's great to talk to you guys.
Thanks for the opportunity. And I just want to thank, Walworth County. The community, for the most part, really appreciates us, and we feel that, and we want to just say thank you for the support and the working relationship that we have with all of our community partners. So thank you.
Amen.
All right. Be safe, guys. It's time for the noon whistle.